All right. So yeah. so, see, that's what happens when you gotta look down and hit the button that
Okay.
says
Okay.
record. Because if you don't
Record.
do that, guess what? It doesn't record
It
anything.
doesn't
So
record. Oh, but that's funny.
that's okay. Yeah, yeah. So anyway, everybody, hey, welcome back. This is Dwayne.
This is Danita. Hi, everyone.
And welcome to Into the Woods. This is our family show, and we talk about ourselves. Hopefully, you can identify something that we're talking about. We can identify with some of the situations, some of the ideas that we are discussing, and then we can all come out of the woods together. Into the woods, out of the woods. Yeah, there you go. So, Danita, what's going on? It's been a few weeks since we've been on.
It's been a few weeks. It's been a
Hmm.
few weeks. We're both enjoying the summer, so we kind of miss each other every now and again for
Yeah,
4 weeks.
I know, I
So
know.
here we are.
And it's been a great summer. So you're I think you said this is 3 months that you've been on this new
Yes,
job.
yes. Last week,
Yeah.
Monday made 3 months.
Wow.
So
Wow.
yeah, it went very quickly. I am glad those first 2 months, 3 months are
Hmm.
over. Yeah.
So tell us,
Yeah.
bring us up to speed. What's been happening over there, or
Um,
happening with you? I
let-
guess not necessarily over there, but happening with you in this new job.
well, I mean, I've learned a lot. I am able now to have real conversations and spot errors in the
Mm.
system now and bring it to my superior's attention. So that's kind of cool. Um, we have a young lady. She left on maternity leave and she came back, and so what I was working on, she now is doing, and so we get emails in our inbox, and so I kept it at almost zero. Maybe
Hmm.
one or two would be in there. But now that she's coming back, she knows what she's doing, but the system has been upgraded, so she's kind of slow. So
Hmm.
it sometimes is at 20 emails in there and I'm freaking out. Like I want to get in there and do stuff cuz now I know.
Hmm.
Right? I know what to do. My boss is like, "No, no." I'm like, "Yeah, but it's like 20." He's like, "Leave it alone." So it's kind of reversed now. It's fun. It's cool.
Right. Right. Okay. So you got
Yeah.
your legs under you now.
I got my legs under me. I
Hmm.
got my legs under me and it feels great. So
Well,
yeah, I like
good.
you guys now as
Yeah.
doctors. I like y'all. Yeah.
Well, good. Well,
Yeah.
glad that you are having a good time.
Yeah.
Now, you guys had a party last week that I didn't make it to, but I saw some
Yeah.
video. I saw some
Yes.
video of y'all hanging out
Yeah.
and kicking it.
Yeah. As his birthday, we were hanging
Hmm.
out and
Right.
Charm
Right.
came through. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He sent me a. I said, oh, of course, I sent a video up for the party, and then he sent me a video
Uh-huh.
on, I guess, on Sunday. And
Mm.
so he's a funny dude. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So
Yeah, it
and
was good.
and and here, like I said, we've been getting into the summer. Blake's transitioning this coming
Mhm.
year to high school,
Mhm.
and just we just been busy. We went to camp. He went to sleepaway camp. We are camping here coming up soon. In fact, I think they're probably pitching some tents right now. Well, no, they're probably
Mhm.
done pitching. So we're gonna be
Mhm.
hanging out there and then getting back and just enjoying the summer. We've had so much go on this summer, and I'm excited about all of it. So just having fun this year.
Is it more than you have done in previous summers? And what do you think the difference is now?
I think I think previous summers I fit the summer stuff, the activities into my normal routine.
Okay.
And this year, I said, no, the stuff I'm doing for summer is the normal routine. And that other stuff, the
Needs to.
not is that has to fit into this because I am now doing stuff. Blake has grown and he's getting bigger, and I want to be present in those things, right?
Good.
So before, not that I wasn't there, but I was there thinking about some other stuff. Oh, we had to close the office, and I got
Mhm.
what's the work gonna be of the patients, and so I'm thinking about all
Mhm.
those things. This year we left our team at the office, so the office was open, and I just talked with them on the different days to find out, hey, what's going on, what do I need to know. They called me if they needed me, and I was immersed in not just for instance Blake was camping, but we had camp meeting, and during camp meeting I was busy doing video or media stuff, and it was just so much fun to be there, and I was immersed in it as opposed to
Mm.
like splitting my energies, right? Because while you were there,
Right.
you're thinking about this other stuff, and it doesn't work
Mhm.
because it's not as much
Mhm.
fun.
Right. Right. So you feel more relaxed. I mean, you're present. You're not split. So
Right, right, right.
yeah.
Um,
Nice.
and even while we were out, so for instance, when we went camping, when he was away, we stayed in a town nearby, and we would come up on camp, and Charmaine and I would walk. There was a
Mhm.
big lake over there, so we'd walk around the lake, walk through the
Mhm.
trees. I even did
Mhm.
some videoing for my online stuff while I was there, and that I've posted over the last couple of days.
Mhm.
Just I don't know, just being mindful, and that's one of
Mhm.
those things. Recently I did well this last 4 or 5 weeks, I've done a series on my channel on the power of a positive mindset.
Mhm.
And I said that the thing that is at the center of everything, right? Because people talk about, oh, you got to be optimistic. Oh, you have to show gratitude. Oh, you have to be creative. Oh, you have to be da da da. Well, if you're not present, right? If you're
You
not
can't do any
present,
of that.
you can't do any of that.
Mhm. No.
Because if your brain is off somewhere else, you're not thinking of, okay, this didn't work, but it's going to be okay. You don't have the
Mhm.
energy for that because you're not
You don't
present.
have
So you got to be
the space in your mind for it. There's no space.
right, right.
Yeah.
So that's so
Oh,
anyway. So
cool.
that's the space I'm sitting at or sitting in. Everybody's talking about spaces and so forth, but I'm sitting in that space,
Mhm.
um, and just looking forward to this rest of this year. Last year around this time, I don't think I had as clear a picture of the growth that I wanted to have by the end of the year, right?
Okay. Mhm.
So as the end of the year came, then I was like, okay, what's going to be my thing for the end of the year? What is going to be what's the growth I'm doing? But this year from January, I've been processing, okay, what am I doing? How am I growing? And so now that we got 6 more months to go for this year, it's a clearer path. Okay, where are you on that list that you created? Not
Mhm.
okay. Oh my goodness, the years are going to by. What am I going to do? I'm not going to have anything to show for this year.
Mhm. Mhm.
So yeah.
Okay, cool. Nice.
Yeah. So you are so you're working right now. So work is taking up a lot of your energy,
Yes, all of
right?
it.
All of it, and in terms of
Yeah.
and sleeping and scheduling and so forth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
where are you in your thought process about? I mean, the rest of the year for you. I mean, is it okay? I just got to get this job going. Have you been doing anything else?
I haven't had the opportunity. I mean, like I said, the job takes everything. I leave in the morning and I come in the evening. Sometimes I'm coming in later than now, right? Because there's so many projects that needs to be done. So I really haven't had a chance to think about the end of the year, right? Because I'm still so stuck in trying to make sure that I get this particular phase down packed,
Mm-hmm,
right?
mm-hmm.
So I haven't really thought about what the end of the year is looking like, what I've accomplished and things like that. I have not.
Right, right. But
Mhm.
I mean, I was talking to a lady recently, and she had had some tragedy in her life,
Mhm.
and I was kind of talking with her, and I was telling her that just like there are seasons that we go
Mhm.
through in the year, we've got winter, spring, summer, fall. We go through seasons in our lives, and sometimes we fight we fight against the season, so
Yeah.
for instance, take your example. You have a new job that you've got to become competent in, and
Mm-hmm.
this is your career, or this is your what you're doing for a livelihood. And so you have got to invest energy and time and all that. So during this season, a lot of the
Mm-hmm.
other things that may be or have been in your life, not that they fall away, but you got to put them off to the side so that
Yeah.
you can get this thing solidified. Because if
Mm-hmm.
this doesn't solidify, then all those other things don't work,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
That's true. Yeah.
And then sometimes people, though, they fight the season. They get mad. Man, I'm spending all my time on the job. I can't do this. I can't do that. Well, if you do that, just like I said about being mindful and present,
Mm-hmm.
you're on the job, but your brain is over there, and so you're spending
Mm-hmm.
dual energy, and then you get so exhausted, you get frustrated, and sometimes if you're not careful, you destroy the job itself, and then you still haven't done that other stuff.
Yeah. You
So
destroy
don't be
everything.
yeah, so don't be mad at the season. Like I don't get mad at winter. Well, I do sometimes, but but you get the idea, right? Yeah,
Yes.
it's coming, right? And so
Yeah.
you can fuss at it, you can be mad at it, you can get depressed
Mm-hmm.
in it, you can argue with it, but winter's coming, and so you now have to figure out, well, how do I work in winter?
Right.
How do I be in that season? And then when that season is done, when winter's done, we move on to the next season, and then we work in that season.
Exactly.
Oh,
I agree.
I like this. I like when we talk. I gotta write that one down. Write that thought
Yeah,
down.
I mean, because you're absolutely right. Because when I started the job, remember we had so many other things that we talked about that well, you had your projects and I had mine. So I did get frustrated in the beginning, and I think that was part of why I was so upset in the beginning of it, because I felt like, okay, I have this now, but I still need to make sure I get all these other things done, right? So, yeah. And then I said, you know what? Forget that. I need to focus. I need to function properly here. So, yeah. That's
Yes.
when I kind of calmed down and just accepted it for what it was. Like
Hmm.
you
Hmm.
can't do everything. So, yeah.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I mean, so it's acceptance. It's what's what am I thinking? Oh, it is. It's being quiet enough, right,
Mhm.
to realize where you are,
Yeah.
and then quiet yourself or settle yourself to say, okay, it's not that I'm giving up on that other stuff, or it's not that I can't do that other stuff. It's like right now there's another priority, and that
Mhm.
priority is takes precedent over this other stuff that I was doing. And
Exactly.
I'm gonna get back to that after a while, but right now I've got to concentrate on this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. And so for people who are watching, people who are listening, that could be a job, okay, like in Danita's
Mhm.
case, that could be a project that you're working on, the house, any of those things can be things that you okay. Hey, I can't totally concentrate on that right now because I'm putting my energy somewhere else. Now, here's the thing: it gets difficult um, if it's a relationship, because
Mhm.
a lot of people have relationships that get broken during seasons. One, because the person who's going through the season doesn't understand where they are, and so they can't effectively share with their partner, their spouse, their friend, their whoever, that hey, let's go through this season together, or this is just
Mhm.
a
Yeah.
temporary thing, and so they end up kind of going in
Separating.
different directions. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Communication is key. We've been
Cool.
saying that since the beginning of our podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Communication is key.
That's right. Communication. So being mindful, acceptance. Okay. So mindful, acceptance, communication.
Mhm.
Communication. How about self-talk?
Yeah.
What kind of self-talk do you need to have in that situation? For instance, like you.
It has to be positive. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, you have to tell yourself that, you have to let yourself know it is a season and it will pass. It's not something that you're going to be stuck in for, forever.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to speak to yourself kindly,
Mm.
right? You have to be kind to yourself. Yeah.
Okay. So that whole idea of self-care.
Yes,
Uh,
yes.
and this is a perfect place for mantras, right? So routines. When we talked about routines before, about okay,
Yes.
getting up and going through the motions of
Mhm.
and putting some structure there, and put a mantra. Say for instance, here's a thing, right? So the thing that you're doing,
Mhm.
may have nothing to do with the other projects that you were working on. Like they can be like totally separate
And apart, yeah.
places, right? So
Mhm.
if you're a creator, if you are a writer, if you're a singer, if you are whatever you are, but you find yourself working in janitorial services or in environmental services or something that's totally removed, it may be tempting to say, I guess I'm not a good writer, or I'm a bad singer, or I'm a bad whatever. But now you've got to say to yourself, I am a creator. I am a musician. I am an actor. I am a writer who's right now is having to do something else so that I could fund the writing or I could fund the whatever, right? Because if you don't have the money, then guess what?
Right, because then you could talk about how you could write about how you hated doing the janitorial work, and you could sing about how much you hated it. I mean, you could pull so much stuff from that. That's
Hmm.
how I sometimes look at things.
Right.
You can pull anything you need for whatever area you want to work
Hmm.
in, like you just gave some. You can use these different areas in your life that you think mean nothing, but
Hmm.
they do. You can use them somewhere. So I'm just saying.
I love it, love it, love it. No, yeah, you're right. I mean, but we don't think about that. We don't think about
No,
that.
no.
One of the things that I am learning is how to let me back up. So a lot of times we are reactionary in our lives, right? Something happens,
Mm-hmm.
we react to it. Something happens, we react to
Right,
it, and so
right.
we go through our lives always reacting to that next thing as opposed
Mm-hmm.
to responding
To it.
to it. And we don't respond because we haven't either practiced, we haven't set up a routine, we don't have a space. So something happens and our emotions just fly and the emotions stay high. And
Mm-hmm.
because they stay high, just like any other emotion, right? The fight or flight response, fight, flight, or freeze. One of those three is going to happen. Either I'm
Mm-hmm.
fighting, right? When it does, that situation didn't require you fighting.
Right, right, right.
It required some finesse, but because you just blew up,
Mm-hmm.
right? You fighting. Or flight, so running. So people run, they see something and they don't pause to say, hey, how can I, even in this situation, like you said, how can I use this situation to further what I want to do? I write, but I'm working as a janitor. What can I pull from the janitor job that I have that I could now inform my book,
There you
right?
go.
Come up with a story about a janitor. I don't
There
know.
you
I'm just,
go.
this is just coming out of my head, right? There are things that you see every day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Situations about cleaning, right? How much energy you got to put
Mm-hmm.
into this cleaning spot versus that cleaning spot. Why it makes a difference? See, right? So if I hear any of these stories, right, you got to give me credit, okay? Because I'm coming up with it. If you're watching out there, you come up with these stories. You got to give me some credit, right? So fight, right? We're fighting when we don't have to. We're running when we can be quiet and stay in that space, or we freeze.
Breathe.
So when it requires action, because we're not totally in touch with ourselves, then we end up just freezing, and the
Mm-hmm.
situation takes over, or the opportunity that we had is lost because now you've waited too long because you were
Yeah.
freezing or whatever.
Freezing. Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
3 F's: fight, fright, freeze. Woo!
And
I'm
you
gonna have
can
to go back.
actually feel those things. Like if you pay attention, you can, I mean, so the job has been my life, so I'm going to reference it right now.
Go
When I
ahead.
was going through, when I first, those first couple of weeks, and I think I mentioned it to you, and I was stressed. So we're
Hmm.
talking about fight, flight, or freeze, right?
Hmm.
I wanted to run so bad. I wanted to quit. That was me running. So, and I realized that. You know, I
Hmm.
realized that that's what I was in. I was in that mode. And so that's why I said, if you're paying attention to yourself, you can feel what stage you're actually in.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm, mm. I love it. Love it. Man. See, there you go. So when when you get this season,
Hmm.
when you're comfortable with this season, and you've started already becoming comfortable with this season, you
Hmm.
can kind of reflect and
Yeah.
on all those things, and that's a perfect piece of content. Yeah, I'm always thinking about content. Piece of
I
content that
know.
you can use somewhere else,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
I could probably
You-
write a book.
Come on now. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for that book. I'm waiting for that book. So,
Yes.
so anyway, so all those things happen, and we've got to be able to be present if we're going to do that.
Hmm.
So all those things we talk about self care, right? So you got to be rested. Now,
Hmm.
sometimes in the middle of all the things we do, we're burning the candle on both ends because we're just trying to get through. But as much as we possibly can, we've got to rest because we think
Hmm.
better when we're rested. We have more
Yeah.
resilience. Ooh, there's another word, right? Resilience
Hmm.
when we're rested, and we're more creative when we're rested.
Yes. Yeah.
Right?
You get those
So,
juices flowing.
come on
Not
now, come.
thinking about going to bed.
Yeah, I know. And here's the thing. Sometimes I'm here in the studio and I'm trying to do something. I'm trying to create something. I'm trying to write something, and my brain just is not. And sometimes it's something simple. My brain is just not processing it. And I
Hmm.
go and I say, okay, that's it. And I go, I lay down and I go to sleep, and I wake up, and the thing that I was trying to process that I couldn't process, boom, it comes. And then I come in here in the morning sometimes and okay, let me do this real quickly.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's all because I got rest.
Yeah. Yeah. You get your brain. It could slow down
Hmm. Yeah. So
and
we
get things done.
got to be careful with that so that we're taking care of all that. And yeah. So self care. I mean, we can go on and on about that, but
Yeah, we
that's
can.
that's the thing. Self care.
Yeah. So,
um. So seasons, right? So remember, there are seasons that we're gonna go through.
hmm.
Don't be mad at the season, right?
No.
The season is what it is. It doesn't mean anything
Yeah.
until you give it a meaning. Make sure that
Exactly.
you are mindful that you're present, and present means experiencing all of the ranges of emotion that comes with where you are, because sometimes we
Right.
try to block. Well, I don't want to. I'm not gonna be sad. I'm not gonna be mad. It's okay to be those things, but just don't stay there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Don't linger there. Just okay. I'm mad right now, and okay, what am I gonna do? Or I'm sad right now. Okay, what am I gonna do? Or I'm fearful. Right?
Yeah. What
There's
am
your
I gonna
word.
do?
Right? What am I
Hmm.
gonna do? What am I gonna do?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Letting go of
So,
those fears. Cool.
yeah, that stuff is hard now.
Oh, you don't have to tell me that. I
It's
know.
crazy. It's you're fearful of something.
Mm-hmm.
You know you need to move, but it's almost like fear becomes your friend, right?
Mm.
So that's what I'm saying. You're saying that you get stuck because it's just so familiar to you.
What, Danita? Come on now. You giving all these little things? Come on, where's my paper?
It's
Okay,
been a
I'm
month,
taking
dude.
this
It's been a
one.
month.
It's on tape. I'm taking this one,
Oh,
and I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna
hmm.
tell you the name. Okay, and you can't use it.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna call it my friend. fear.
Mm-hmm.
My friend fear. Got it right there on my paper. This is what's today? 7/13,
13. Yes.
2023. Okay. That's
Mm-hmm.
copyrighted right there, right now. Trademark. My friend fear. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
But yeah. It but you said a lot there, because all of those coping mechanisms, the what we call the negative coping mechanisms, or what Brooke Castillo calls buffering.
Okay.
All of those buffering things that we do, and those are those things that we do to kind of compensate, if you will, to ease our pain.
Mm-hmm.
So all those things, if we're not careful, they become friendly, they become familiar.
Yes.
And after a while, it's hard to see something else or imagine a different space, because because this thing has become, this is your friend, because that's what got you through, right? The fear got you through, or the procrastination got you through, or the anger got you through, or the whatever it is got you through. And now as you're thinking about moving on, like anything, it's grabbing a hold of you and said, no, I'm not letting you go, because we just not tied together.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like it becomes who you are. It's like it becomes your personality. This is what you would do in this situation or that situation.
Mm-hmm.
It becomes who you are.
Wow.
So then you have to change your personality, but you just really need to let go of those emotions so you can move forward.
Come on now. Teach it.
You're so silly.
My next piece of material that I have is about the art of letting go. In fact, if you go to my channel, I did a series, and actually that's what it's called, The Art of Letting Go. There are 6 videos in there. So letting go of fear, letting go of past hurts, letting go of the idea of revenge, letting go of of expectations. Okay, so all those things are things that kind of hold us, and we've got to learn how to let those go. So as I did that series, I mean, I learned so much, and people think I was teaching them, but I was actually teaching myself. Because
it happens that way sometimes.
Yeah. Because it really expanded my thoughts, expanding my mind, this letting go idea. So yeah, cool.
Yeah. Nice.
Well, I think we can go on and on and on, but I think this is a good space to be, good place to say to everyone that your season comes for a reason. And in the season, you've got to do what that season requires, entails, and you get through that season. But if you fight it, if you fight the season, right, and you're like, well, I don't want to deal with this season in my life, you may move on to another season, but this one is coming back because you haven't fully dealt with it. I will actually say you may think you've moved on, but you haven't fully dealt with that last thing. So guess what? It's coming back. And this time, it's not coming back easy.
It's coming back hard.
It's coming back hard, right? And so now you're like, man, why is this going on? But that's because you didn't deal with it. You didn't learn the lesson that you were supposed to learn that last time. So now here it is again. And now here's a thought. Here's a thought. So we get into situations, and sometimes we think that the situation is new, right? Or, well, not new, but this is the same thing that I saw last time. This is the same thing I saw last time, right? Well, sometimes if we've learned the tools that we needed last time, when that new situation came, it would have been different.
Yeah, because
because you can only see what you can see. But if you've expanded your thoughts, expanded your mind, expanded your tools, when that new situation comes, those peripheral things that you were dealing with, that you already know how to deal with them. So you're actually moving on to a higher part of that situation. You're dealing with a higher level thing. But right now, we're just dealing with the base stuff because we didn't learn the tools that we were supposed to last time.
Yep. Yep. Write it down.
Okay, there you go. Got it. Anyway, so that I think that's a good place for us to end this episode. We if you have not already done so, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Let us know that you're out there. If you like the comments, if you have the conversations we're having, give us a thumbs up, share this episode with everybody, and come on back for our next episode. This is Dwayne.
This is Danita. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. We'll see you at the next episode.